Hello! Today we're going to talk about the print tab. So today we're going to focus on the print tab, and although it's called print, it just doesn't only print stuff. You can also preview some data in here. So this is where I'm going to start from. So the first thing I want to show you is the preview things, and the first is the current series. Current series because you can change it here, right? So we are in series number 1, whose ID is 5. So if you change, you're gonna get the results of the series in which you are. So I'm gonna cancel it and check here below. So we have the results of series 1. Below it we have overall results, so we get all results of all series, so even though those which were not played yet, so and the sum of each player's individual points. So there it is. We also can preview teams results, so we have the team A, B, C, and M, if I remember properly. So we get all players. I didn't replace it by a player name in here, but you get the team's results and the total points here. So after it, so once it's done, we're gonna see the print stuff after preview. So although it's called print, it's not quite the same. It's important to clear this out. So it's called print, but you're gonna have to this button. What it does is it generates a PDF, as it's written right here. So you generate the PDFs, and to print the PDFs, you should go to your local PDF manager too. So we generate the PDFs, and the printing service, you're gonna have to find it by yourself. It's important to clear this out. So first thing, the series lists, the game lists. So we're gonna print, the people are going to write down the points, the lost games and everything, and from there we take the results, which in each list, let me show you, each table of these ones represents a list, a game list. So here is where you print them. So if you hit this button, we're gonna download it. So we have, you can pay attention that we have, in this case we have, if I remember properly, 3-player lists, right? So we put the 4-player lists above and the 3-player lists below, so it makes it automatically, don't have to worry. So it's going to generate the 3 and the 4 players list. You don't have to make anything, it just goes automatically, expecting that you build the tables accordingly. So if you put 5 players into a table, if there's some error of the operator, it might have some problem, but if it doesn't, if you confer in the Tisha table and it's as it should, so we should have no issues here. So below it we have one thing I did exclusively for use of here in Bali. We have some pre-made lists, and we would only put the input in there, so we probably ain't gonna use it, but it's here. It's a feature maybe for 1 in each 100 users it might be useful, so you can check it. So here we have the player settler, as they call it, or the player map. It's the map of tables, of random tables the player will sit. Let me print it. So we get this PDF, and each page represents a player. So in this case, player A, ID 1, in Tish 1 he plays in position table 1, position A, 1B, 1C. So this same pattern goes to all the players of a same group. So this 2, 2A, 2B, 2C. This 3, 3A, 3B, 3C. So for group 1. For group 2, the pattern is BCD. For group 3, we're going to see here, pattern is CDA. And for group 4, DAB. So players of a same group, they play in different tish, but in the same position of a different tish. So it gives justice to the players that they hopefully in one table they're gonna write, and the other table in the next series they won't. So we have this setting. So this is the player map. We have a lost game list, which is for financial control of a championship. So let me print it. So we get a list of all lost games by each player in each series. So you can see it's a very simple thing. The only thing I want to edit is that it takes into account the games that exceeded 3. So here in Bali, and it was built in the code, in our code, that if a player loses more than 3 games in the same series, from the 4th lost game on, he pays 1 game extra per game. So instead of paying only 1 unit, this person pays 2 units. So I put it as extra here, as you see. So a player that lost 4 games in series 4, he got 6 lost games in general, but as in one single series, he got one game above the 3rd, so he got an extra game to pay here. So altogether, he's gonna pay 7 games, and we have the overall lost games here and the overall due money in here. That's for financial control. Maybe you don't need to use this thing. So now we go to the ones we have already seen in the preview. So here are the series results. So series ID 5, series number 1 of Berlin Championship. Here's the ranked results for series. We have the overall results. It's also the same we saw earlier. Here, overall results. So there it is, the same thing. We also have teams results. So we get the results for all the series, but it selects only the random series because ranked series, they are not taken into account for our team's championship. And now we have the sectorized results, I would say. So it's the section results for either sex categories or age categories. So in Bali, we give a special prize for women. So we select only the women play in the championship, and we give a list of exclusively women. So we have this female results. It selects only the female players. We have also junior players, and in this case you have to input a date, and the junior players, they should have been born after this date. In my case, for instance, I'm going to use 11 November 1981. So I get these results. In my list, if you remember, I put almost all the players born in 11 November 1111, so the year 1111. So all of them have are almost 1,000 years old, so they wouldn't fit in the junior categories. Only 2 players were born after. So here we have them. And then the last one is the senior category. You also have to input a date, so the players will be supposed to be born before this date. I'm going to put here 1954. It means the player has at least 70 years old. Get senior results, we see it here. So all the players which not D and E and F, I assume, right? So these are the printing stuff. These are all the features we have built. So next video we go to the last tab, which is import and export data. See you there. Sampai jumpa.